Hey everybody. I don't know if anybody's in here or not, or if my thing's working. Let me see. Shoot. Yeah. See if I can hear myself. Hello? Hello? Yeah. Okay. Looks like I got everything working, so I'm not a complete idiot. I don't know if anybody's in or not, but that's okay. I haven't done a live stream in a long time. What's up, James Price? Go Vols. Uh, no really topic today. Just whatever y'all want to talk about's fine with me. I worked so much overtime the last few years, I quit doing live streams. So now that they've cut our overtime out at work for the time being, and the kids are back in school, I thought I'd hop on here every now and then and do a live stream. Is the volume good? So I'll wait just a few minutes to see if anybody else shows up. Hey, KP, good to see you, buddy. Glad you could join us. Thanks, KP. Another 5x5. Devil Dog, good to see you, brother. Andrew, nice to see you. So, like I say, I have no agenda for this live stream. Just prepping related topics or whatever y'all want to talk about. I've been seeing the pictures, James Price, on Facebook. Y'all got a pretty place. So where you're improving the land, hopefully making it more usable. Hey, Rooster, good to see you. Dog Walker, Andrews from Knoxville, go Vols. I don't want to hear any talk about no Georgia Bulldogs or no Roll Tide. That's an automatic strike from the channel. Just kidding. So let's talk about prepping. What have y'all been doing to increase your preps the last few weeks? For me, I've just been adding some canned goods, another 20-pound bag of rice. My oldest son, who is 15, is wanting to go deer hunting this year. So I went up to my cousin's farm. He's got about 20 acres up in Virginia, and we're going to deer hunt up there. I'm too old to be climbing into a tree stand, so I'm thinking about getting us a hunting blind and lugging a couple of bag chairs in there to so I can sit down, because at 60 years old, I'm not quite as nifty as I used to be. Drone crash in Poland. I hadn't seen that, KP. Devil Dog says he's freeze drying everything. I know a fella that had a freeze dryer for sale. I don't know if he still does or not. I just can't afford it right now. I'd love to have a freeze dryer. I'm getting ready to fire up my dehydrator this afternoon. I've got some bananas and apples I'm going to dehydrate. Growing and canning. Hey, Holly. I didn't put out a garden this year, Rooster. I had thought I was moving earlier in the spring, and the VA loan didn't go through because the house was too old. I'm looking at another place over in Virginia right now that's got about an acre in it, so hopefully this one qualifies for the VA loan. VA is very picky, but that's my only option to get a house, because I already have a mortgage in my name where the ex is living, and I really don't want to force a sale on it. Hey, Joe Morgan, three legs, limps with a cane. Who else is in here? Holly. Appreciate everybody showing up. But next year, hopefully, wherever I'm at, I'm going to put out a garden. Hopefully, I'll get that place up in Virginia. It's got about an acre and all the land's usable, and I can have some chickens in a garden again. I really miss doing that. And it's a good skill to have, because here pretty soon we might all have to grow our own food. So we've got a few people in here. That's good. A couple of things I wanted to talk about. This ain't an infomercial, but I talk about this a lot. if you don't have a Jace case, I highly recommend getting a Jace case. Emergency antibiotics in case the worst thing that could happen does. If we ever go to war with China, which seems like it's creeping towards us, that's who we get most of our medications from, unfortunately. And they're not cheap, but I have 3 Jace cases, and I also have 2 from Contingency Medical. So I have 1 for each member of the family. Let's see. And something else that I just added, another knife. I got this one in case we get lucky and do kill a deer. Just came in a few minutes ago. Uncle Henry. Hopefully I'll be skinning a deer with it here soon. I think it was like $40. I'm gonna give this to my son to take out, and I already have a skinning knife if I can find it. Hi, Mary Miles. Good to see you. But there's a lot of things that's going on around the world that just make a person uneasy. I don't dwell on the negative, but it seems like that's all that's in the news cycle. Excuse me. Especially with the war raging in Eastern Europe. Hopefully this is about to get settled one way or another. Hopefully it doesn't escalate. Hopefully they sign a peace deal. Russia needs to make concessions to have some peacekeeping troops in Ukraine. And Ukraine needs to make some concessions because they're not getting any of that territory back, I do not think. Uncle Henry does make good knives. I'm thinking about buying another one. Like I say, I'm gonna give this one to my son when he gets home from school after he mows the yard. Hey, Winter Homestead. Good to see you, Shelley. And since somebody mentioned Rosie, I'll go ahead and put her on camera. That's her usual position, guarding the couch. Nobody can attack the couch while Rosie's on duty. And as far as live streams go, I think I might try to do one every once a week while the kids are in school. And just get on here and chat. Let's see. Anybody have any questions that y'all want a topic y'all want to go over? Like I say, I didn't have an agenda. I usually just make 7, 8, 9-minute videos and get on here and run my mouth about the news. Devil Dog, I hadn't seen you make a video in a while. You were talking about doing something with cheese last night on Vision Preparedness's live stream. I think it was cheese, and I'd like to see how you do that. So you need to start making some videos and some live streams. Now that the kids are back in school and I actually have more days off, I'm going to try to be a little more active in different preppers live streams because I enjoy talking to folks. Well, Devil Dog, I don't blame you. I took a break last fall from YouTube. It gets old, but I do it now mainly out of habit. If I was trying to get rich off YouTube, I would quit getting on here and running my mouth about stuff and just make videos of Rosie. James is making soap. Is it lye soap you're going to make, James? Do I think it's a good idea for Trump to put a military in other blue cities? Let's see how it pans out in Washington. It seems to be working pretty well up there. I don't know about the military. Maybe FBI, DEA, and agents like that patrolling the streets. We don't want to give the libtards reason to think that he's declaring he really needs to. But I think it's a good idea to clean these blue crap holes up. Maybe when people see that it can be done, maybe they'll change their thinking. Some of them will. Some of them are so far left that they'll never change their thinking that Trump's evil, bad, and he couldn't do anything right. I swear to God, if he came out Okay, we're back. Well, I'm thinking about doing that, Joe. But I'm not on here to make money. The reason I probably told y'all this before. The reason I started my channel was my kids would sit around all day watching YouTube about people playing video games. And instead of playing the video games, they would watch people on YouTube playing the video games. And I'd laugh at them and they said, "Well, I bet you can't do it." And I said, "Well, I bet I can." So I started making videos and told them I'd get 1,000 subscribers and get monetized. And they weren't impressed. And I don't blame them. Yeah, I noticed that, Shelly. I froze for just a second, which is hope it didn't have a goofy picture of me while I was frozen. See what Joe. Well, I don't know about the HIPAA. I think I read something about that, Joe, but I'm not familiar. I know what HIPAA laws are, and I don't know about the sobriety first housing model. So um, I think it needs to be done with discretion. They shouldn't target people, but I think the criminal element in Washington has really went into hiding. And Gavin Newsom and them screaming about the homeless camps in Washington being cleared out. Well, I noticed Newsom didn't have a problem clearing the homeless out of San Francisco when Xi Jinping was coming to town. Now, did he? Um, so, speaking of Gavin Newsom, he's trying to imitate Trump on his tweets and stuff. He's got two ladies doing his tweets, putting them out in all caps, and he's going making the rounds. Um, if he is the Democratic nominee and somehow slipped in 2028, this country's in a whole lot of trouble. The Second Amendment would be gone, I think. And it's sort of like in New York City, Zoran Mondani wants to do away with private ownership of everything. So they're getting ready to go full commie in New York unless they wake up. And then if they don't, I hope all their dreams come true. I remember as a young man, I wanted to visit like New York and Chicago and places, maybe Boston. You couldn't pay me to go into one of those cities. I don't even, and I know we got some man here from Knoxville, but I don't even like going to Knoxville to the UT games anymore. I don't like being in my town anymore. And we have about 55,000 people. It's too crowded for me. The place I'm looking at has a population of like between 300 and 400. And that's exactly what I'm wanting. And I know Virginia has, till here lately, has been a blue state, but the area where I'm moving in, it's not a blue state, not a blue area at all. It's a lot of farmland and stuff. So hopefully this works out. I think I got to go talk to the mortgage people I'm working with tomorrow. That's exactly right, Rooster. Uh, they used to talk about government buybacks on your firearms. I don't remember purchasing any of my firearms for the government, so there'll be no buyback. I'm not participating in any of that. I know exactly where White Pine is, buddy. I used to go by there because for 2 years I lived in Newport, Tennessee. When you want to talk about a place to live, Newport was a rough town back in the day, and I guess it still is. Well, I hope your husband does okay, Holly. I'll say a prayer for him because I know you guys has been struggling with his health for a while. And when I go to church, well, I don't get to go to church this Sunday, but I'll talk to my cousin and have him put on the prayer list. And on a good note, not this Sunday because I'm working this Sunday, but next Sunday, my kids are getting baptized. So I am super excited about that. How they came to the Lord with a heathen like me for their daddy is amazing. So I'm very proud of them. Cotton County, it's nice. It's pretty down there, James. Newport's a pretty place, but I mean, the worst fight I ever saw in my life was the first night I moved to Newport, Tennessee. I was probably 28, and I moved into a little house down there I was renting, and went to Walmart to pick some stuff up, and saw about the worst fight I'd ever seen in my life. There were 4 or 5 people just out in the parking lot beating the snot out of each other. And when I lived in Newport, I thought in the summertime, I thought I was in Vietnam because there was that many helicopters flying over looking for marijuana production. I thought at one time, I read this statistic that if Cotton County was a state, it would be 4th or 5th for the whole country in marijuana production. What's up, Daryl Calhoun? Good to see you. Cleveland, Tennessee. A lot of Tennessee folks in here today. Here pretty soon, in about 10 days, we can stop arguing over silly stuff like politics and stuff like that and start arguing about things that the good Lord intended us to argue about, which is college football. So, all right, I'm going to put a number up, and I want y'all to give me your honest estimate, all you Tennessee folks. How many games do you think the Vols is going to win this year? I just put my prediction up. I like it's pretty on the west end of Knoxville, Andrew. I still like Knoxville. I just get nervous in big cities. James Price, don't copy my answer now. Devil Dog says 8. That could be. It all depends on the quarterback they got that transferred in, I guess, how he plays. And something else I wanted to talk to you about. I showed you my Jace case. Well, Jace is running a big sale this month till the end of the month, and I think it might go through September. They're offering $25 off a Jace case, which is pretty good. My little discount code only gets you $10 off. And the code is, I'll put it in there if I can type. That didn't work. Technology and myself do not get along very well. So there's the Jace case discount code. I have a link. Andrew 6 and 6. That's awful negative. But I could see it. And like I say, it all depends on their quarterback. So let's see what else. Anything else anybody wants to talk about? I used to take notes, but I've been busy all morning, so I didn't have time to jot any notes down about stuff to talk about. Seymour to White Pine. I have a friend that lives in Knoxville, on the other side of Knoxville, in Maryville. How far is Maryville from Knoxville? I think Daryl said he was from Cleveland, Tennessee, but I'm not sure. Back Archer's Homestead, good to see you. And ADRVT, nice to see you. So as far as prepping goes, my goal when I started was to have a year's worth of food for me and my kids. And I think I've reached that point. Now, some of it's a lot of canned goods. And on canned goods, you have to be careful. They have expiration dates on the canned goods. But as long as the can's not dented or rusty, it should still be good to go even after the expiration date for quite a while. You can tell when you open a can of like green beans or potatoes or whatever you have, pinto beans, you can smell it and get a pretty good idea if it's gone rancid. Hey, JD, nice to see you. Also, I have a bunch of rice and beans, of course, and I need to start dehydrating some more fruits. I bought the dehydrator and I don't really use it as often as I should. So I've got a thing of bananas in there and a bag of apples, and I'm going to dehydrate those tonight and tomorrow, and I'm going to run it a lot more often because And it's a really nice dehydrator. I got it at a sporting goods store, and it was only like $50. Hey, Jeanette Humphrey, nice to see you. So it's good to see y'all talking to one another. The prepping community is like a big happy family for the most part. I saw where Chattanooga got flooded. That was awful. We got hit about 2 weeks before that here in Kingsport, and it wasn't nowhere near the level that Chattanooga got hit, but we did have some people get stranded in cars trying to drive through standing water. I saw not far from my house, there was a man and his kid got trapped in, and the water was all the way up to their windows on their above their doors. How's things going? Good right now, JD. Like I say, I'm going through the VA loan. I have to get an appraisal done. I have to have a structural engineer look at it, and then I have to, and like anything wrong with the house, it has to be fixed beforehand, and it has to be done by a licensed and insured contractor and bonded. So I know there's about 6 windows in the place that's cracked, so I'll have to replace them. The front deck needs replaced. I'll have to replace it. And the back deck, they're so picky that it's got the back deck's covered and painted. The paint's peeling on it, so it'll have to be fixed. You can't have chip paint on your outside decks. So hopefully that won't cost me too much money. It'd be nice if they would let me do it myself, but the VA is the VA, and you have to play by their rules, which is really crazy if you ask me. So how long have I been yammering? About 20 minutes. I'll probably cut this off at about 30 because I'm not long-winded. And another reason that I keep making YouTube videos is I have anxiety. Hey, Pilgrim and that Kentucky girl. I'm going to do some deer jerky. I've got a buddy that makes delicious deer jerky, and he's going to give me his recipe. Hopefully, we'll get a deer. My cousin on his farm says he sees a bunch up there every year, and he used to hunt, but he's 80 now, so he's gave it up. So I hadn't been hunting in probably 30 years, deer hunting anyway. So I'm looking forward to it. My oldest boy is excited. I'll have to drop the youngest one off with his aunts or let him stay with them. There's a couple of weekends I think I can go deer hunting, the weekend after Christmas and the weekend after Thanksgiving for rifle season. I'm not fooling with bow or muzzle loader or anything like that. I can barely see good enough to shoot a rifle, and I do need to take my rifle back up there and make sure the scope's still zeroed in good. And if anybody gets a shot at the deer, I'm going to let my son take the first crack. So he's a little country boy at heart. He does good at doing stuff. He likes working on stuff. The trouble is getting him started. He's like an old 20-year-old push mower. It's hard to get it going, but after you get him going and point it in the right direction, he does good. That'd be nice, Shelley, but that ain't never going to happen. The government's got their hands in everything. So I don't know why the VA is so picky on their loans, but they sure are. It's ridiculous, the hoops they make you jump through. But like I say, with one mortgage already in my name, this is the only route that I have to get a place. So hopefully it goes through. We'll see. And if it does, I can make some more outside videos because this little house I'm renting right now doesn't have any yard to it at all, hardly. I can mow it in about 20 minutes. So, yeah, the whole loan process is a nightmare. It's just aggravating. And now they want you to do everything. The mortgage company I'm going through wants you to sign everything online. And I have awfulest time. I have to call the lady that works there, and she has to walk me through it every time because I can't figure it out. So she's got the patience of Job. So everybody talks about prepping, food, stockpiling food, and things like that. But what are y'all doing for water filtration? I have a big Berkey. I also have the life straws and mini sawyers, and I have water purification tablets, and I have a bunch of pool shock, and I'm going to order the chemical that you can mix with water to make bleach, sodium hypochlorite, if I'm guessing. And if I get this place, I have one IBC food grade tote that holds 275 gallons of water. And this house has a metal roof, which means you don't have to worry about the asphalt shingles if you catch water off your roof. The shingles, that little pebbles and stuff that come off your shingles, gets in your gutters. So I think I'm going to run like 3 or 4 totes up and have PVC piping off the downspout and let it fill one up. And when it fills up, it fills the second one up, so on and so on. And that'll give me around 1,000 gallons. And preppingdeals.net had a good sale last week on a 100-gallon collapsible hard plastic water barrel. So if y'all don't check out preppingdeals.net, I check it a couple times a day. That's where I bought my second solar generator from. They had a really good special on it back in the spring. I think it was like 44% off. I also have a couple of buddies that have their house pretty much running on solar. One here in Kingsport and another one over in Johnson City. So let's see, metal roof is perfect. Yes, it is. Water purification preps are very important. I have about 40 cases of water hid in this little house. And if something ever happened and I'm still here, you know, like an EMP hit or something like that, I would fill up before the pumps. You know, you'd still have enough time. I'd fill up my bathtub. I've got a little thing you hook up to the bathtub, the spigot, and that would hold a couple 100 gallons. I would fill up sinks. I'd fill up every pot I have and use that water first. And also, you have to think about auxiliary ways to cook. I've got a bunch of propane tanks for my grill and Blackstone. I think I have 13 of those tanks. I have a rocket stove that I bought from my Patriot Supply. And I've also got a nice little fire pit that I could cook on. And this house up here for heat, if I get that house, it has a wood fireplace. And at where my ex is living, I have 2 cords of firewood that I would haul up there in my truck. And I also have a Big Buddy. And I highly recommend getting a Big Buddy. And if you get a Big Buddy, get the adapter where you can run it off instead of the little 1-gallon tanks. You can get the adapter and run it off like a tank that you use for your gas grill. Yeah, that's a good point, JD. Purification tablets, I've got some stored, but when I thought I was moving, I packed everything as much as I could up in totes, so I'd have to dig those out. All righty. What else could we talk about? Defending your preps. Now, I know everybody in here doesn't want to harm a fly unless somebody was going to do something to you, but I keep something around real close everywhere I'm at except at work. Or if I have to go in the bank or the post office, it's usually with me. Even at church, it's with me. So that's a good point, Pilgrim. So while you still can, if you can afford it, buy more Freedom Seeds, buy more things to dispense the Freedom Seeds with. I bought a Glock 19 back in the spring, and I was really disappointed in it. I took it up to my cousin's farm and shot it, and it jammed every single time. It jammed. It finally got so jammed, I just quit. And I had to take it, and I got a buddy that's kind of a gunsmith, and me and him got it broke free. And I was reading about it, and it said that I needed to run hotter ammo through it. I was shooting 115 grain rounds through it, and I went up to 124, and I took it back to my cousin's farm and shot 2 mags through it and never had a hiccup. So I'm tickled to death. But I don't know why. Maybe the spring will loosen up over time where I could run the 115 grain through it, because the 124s are a little more expensive. What's this say? Trying to keep up with chat. One inside and one outside in the barn. Now see, I have a gun in this little house in almost every room. Except for the youngest, my 11-year-old. I don't have a pistol in there. But in my room, I have a shotgun and an AR. I have a pistol over here in that big cabinet head, or in that big shelving unit. And I have one in my son's 15-year-old's in a shelving unit. Tucked in the back where God help somebody come and try to get in this house, especially when my boys is here, because I'm going to keep shooting till it don't shoot no more. I don't mind mainly in cans. I have vacuum sealed a bunch of my ammo, JD, with the oxygen absorber, and I probably vacuum seal some more. But I try to buy my ammo. Hold on, if I move this, but I get a lot of mine online, and it'll come in ammo cans. What have I got in here? This is all 9mm. I think this is like this is 124 grain. And I forget where I got this from, but the ammo sites I go to usually are 2A Warehouse, Palmetto State, and I really like SG ammo, because if you order over $200 off SG ammo, then it's free shipping, and the shipping can really cost you a lot with ammo. See you back, Archers. Appreciate you. You have a great week too, buddy. I'm going up to look at the property again tomorrow, so oh, devil dog, I guess I shouldn't have. Oops. I ain't got a strike from YouTube in a while. Maybe it's time to get one. So anyway, I have talked about as long as I'm going to. We'll try to do this, like I say, every week or two, mainly during lunchtime when the kids are in school, because when the boys are here, I try to give them my undivided attention, whether they want it or not. Mostly, they want their attention to be on the Xbox. But if you don't care, remember Holly's husband, as he does that procedure up in the big city. And remember me, that this house deal doesn't fall apart. Perhaps for when the lights go out. Well, that's a good thought, Daryl. I have my solar generators, but I can't run my whole house. But I have lots of flashlights stowed around the house, and I have a bunch of rechargeable batteries for them. And now I can't cut the darn thing off. There we go. And I also have a lot of AA and AAA batteries. And I also have on my bigger Freedom Seed dispensers, flashlights on those. So y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless each and every one of you. And like I always say, don't be scared. Be prepared. Y'all have a great day. Love you.